Hello everyone, welcome to the Solo Gaming Spotlight. Today we are continuing our adventure, The Salvation of the Many, from the Lost Stories expansion. This is part 3. If you'd like to catch this adventure from the beginning, there should be a link up top in the video right now. But if not, you can continue on with this here. Let me give you a brief summary of what's going on. We were summoned to the castle in Dranvelt by the princess. The king had fallen ill recently and had been drinking heavily ever since the queen threw herself from a parapet several months ago. When we arrived at the castle, we found out that the court physicians had cut the king off from all alcohol intake, yet his condition continued to worsen. The court wizard believes that a magical curse had been set upon the king, and the princess believes that if it is a magical curse, then there is only one individual that can be responsible, and that is Old Belly the Troll. The king had defeated Old Belly many years ago in battle, and Old Belly had sworn revenge upon the king. So we went and headed out over to Mandred to go talk to the court wizard to maybe get some information before we headed to see Old Belly the Troll. When we got to Mandred, we found out that several of the soldiers were found murdered by the side of the road, and it's believed the trolls were responsible, but there was no sign of the wizard. So then we headed up into Old Belly's territory in the dark woods. We confronted Old Belly the Troll, who gave us a completely different story, said he's not responsible. The king had defeated him in war many years ago, and the king was quite brutal, torturing and killing women and children in front of the men. And one of those men was Fritoff, who is a dim walker, a healer, and he is now in the employ of a human family over in the eastern Darkwoods area. And that is where we are at in our campaign. We are on our way to go confront Fritoff and see if he's behind the magical curse that's been inflicted upon the king. So let's continue this adventure. It was the explore phase, but now goes to the travel phase, and we can travel one adjacent region. We're going to go ahead and travel with our warlord's bodyguards into the eastern Darkwoods. It's the engage phase. There's no enemies present, so we have to draw an event card. We have the Holy Stone of Drabanus. You find a sacred place, pray, and make your offerings to the gods. Each hero in the party must perform a Charisma 2 test. If we succeed, we discard a negative token. Each hero that fails, however, has to gain a Doom token to our rune bag till the end of the adventure. Then it goes away. I house rolled the success tests. Normally you pull 7 runes from your bag and see if you can pull 2 air wounds. What I do is you have the choice of being able to pass. For a skill test 2, you can remove 1 air rune from your bag, and you're going to put it on the 1. You're going to lose it for 1 combat. See, we've already pulled a green from our bag and done that. Dora doesn't have a negative token on her mistrack. Ulf does. But gaining a Doom token to the bag is just awful, and I can't have that happen, so we do have to pull an air rune out of both of them to make sure that they pass. So we're going to go ahead and add 1 to the 1 spot on Dora's. We're going to lose both of those for the next combat. That's going to be brutal. And let's do that for Ulf as well. I'm going to pull an air rune out, shortening our bag of actual runes, which is going to make the next combat quite tough. Now that we're missing 2, there's 15 total runes in the bag, 5 of which are darkness runes that are automatic fails when in combat. For Ulf, we do get to discard his negative token, and that's it. We're going to go ahead and put this in the event discard pile, and let's continue. We're going to go from the engage phase down to the explore phase, where we get to interact. Now, point of interest C is here, and we want to interact with point of interest C in the eastern Darkwoods. So we can see that it's Fritoff's den. A large hut in the woods built around 2 tall trees. Interact to read entry L1004. So we're gonna go ahead and read that entry and see what's going on with old Fritoff.
It takes 2 days to travel south to Calicut. Finding the troll healer for the Gilhop family is simple. Everyone knows who that is. You're directed to a large hut on the outskirts of the village. You see a troll carving wood as you approach. When he sees you, he stares worriedly at your weapons and stands up. You tell him not to move and to relax. The troll begins shaking as you continue to approach. After a moment, his nerve breaks and he runs into the hut, shouting words in a language you cannot name.
We're going to discard point of interest C, and we have a choice to make. We can chase him down before he can pull a fast one, or we can remain outside and urge him to come out. Now, given the poor troll's situation, having had to watch his family tortured and murdered, or so goes it, we can kind of give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe not chase him down, and urge him to come out. So let's read entry L1041.
Within moments, a cold breeze from the north hits you as the daylight fades and the world turns gray. Shadows that seem to come straight out of the darkness of the woods around you attack. It's the undead.
All right, we have to place 2 Draugrs in the region and reveal point of interest H. Let's go ahead and remove point of interest C from the previous entry. Let's go ahead and plop down those 2 Draugrs here with us in the Eastern Darkwoods. Perhaps we made a wrong decision. Maybe we should have chased him down. And let's place point of interest H, also here in the Eastern Darkwoods. H. Draugrs. Fight the Draugr coming out of the darkness. Defeat and interact to read entry L1008. Well, we do have to go to the travel phase where we're not going to travel out of the Eastern Darkwoods with the 2 Draugr there. That'll just give us some damage. We're going to go to the engage phase. We're going to get this combat underway. Okay, at least it's not a boss battle. So let's grab the 2 Draugr, and I like to place them on the stat sheet here. All right, Sheik is still in aggressive form. We're going to pull Dora's 4 feats for this combat. We've got battle chant, so we can block. Squeal attack, which is strong enough to take one of the Draugr out with 1 hit. And then strike 1, which does 3 damage. They have 4 health each. All right, for Ulf, we've got synchronized swap, also a block. Combined speed, 3 attack. Safeguard, another block with the remaining block going as damage to one of our guards. And a combined hit, which we could exhaust a guard to make it 4 damage. All in the same clip. So, we are short a couple runes. There's 15 runes in the bag. Ulf has 16 because he has a title. He has an extra fire rune. We're going to pull 3. We got 2 misses right off the bat. Let's get that squeal attack. At least kill 1. We can block 1 incoming attack and kill 1 of them. That'll be a win. We're going to be able to kill 1. We're still in the blue on the miss track, which would fire off a plus block, which isn't going to do us any good. But let's try it. Let's do it. Let's try one more time. Press our luck here and see what we get. We did get the block off. And we ended up in the neutral area of the track, so none of the bonuses or penalties are going to apply. And we're going to go over to Ulf because we can block 1 of them, and we can kill 1 of the Draugr. For Ulf, let's pull 3. Oh, I think we got a block going. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. We got a block. And we got a miss. Of course, we're drawing again. Not a good draw. We're going to put it on a combined hit. He's got 7 health, so if we do fire off we end up with 2 misses. We'll lose 2 health. Let's see if we can get an air or a fire. He does have an extra fire in his bag because of the title he has. We pulled a fire. Just a matter of not triggering. Oh, excellent. We're able to... We'll be able to kill them. We just won't be able to fire anything else off. We get a combined speed or safeguard. Won't be able to activate, but that's okay. We're still in the blue. Let's go ahead. That's the first thing we do is fire off the mistrack. We're going to gain 2 chronicle points. He's going to go up to 5. Dora was in the neutral. She's not going to fire anything off. Now we got the incoming attacks from the Draugr. So we're going to pull from the modifier deck. First attack's going to go to Dora. She's going to block 2. They do 2 attack. Wow. 5 attack incoming. Reshuffle the enemy attack deck. No triggers. She didn't land in the thing or else we would have had an extra block. So she does have to take 3 points of damage. She's jumping from 6 down to 3 health. That's that. Let's shuffle the modifier deck back up. And then Ulf's going to have to take the other attack coming in because he has the other block. Let's see what we get. +1. 3 damage is incoming to Ulf. He's got a 2 block, 1 chronicle point. He can exhaust the guard to gain +1 attack token. We're not doing that. We're just going to block the 2, take the other as damage. We can always give the damage to one of our bodyguards. That would exhaust this guy. We don't want to do that. Ulf himself will take it, bring him down to 6. And now we can fire off our attacks. We're going to exhaust one of the guards. We flip this over to the black and white side to show he's exhausted. And we're going to take this combined hit with the 2 attack and exhaust the guard to deal +2. So we're going to do 4 damage and knock one of those Draugrs out. And then the squeal attack is going to do 4 damage if Sheik is aggressive. When Sheik is aggressive, it deals +2, 6 damage, which really doesn't make any difference, and Sheik becomes defensive. Let's switch him over to his defensive stance, and let's knock out this here Draugr. Okay, that ends this combat, and remember, we do not gain any experience points for the side adventure that we're playing. And with my house ruling, after combat, the runes slide down 1. When they go back to 0, they go back in the bag. So that's what the skill test, you do have the choice of passing or failing. It just comes at the price of having to remove runes from your bag, which on the following combat could have quite negative repercussions. All right, now we are still in the engage phase. And this is defeat and interact to read entry L1008. So we need to go to the explore phase and then do our interaction with L1008. Let's go ahead and do that.
With the Draugrs defeated, daylight returns to normal and the cold vanishes back from whence it came. With no more summoned undead to protect him, Fritov is easily persuaded to talk.
If the party has quest token 3, ooh, what's that? Quest tokens. Otherwise, read entry L1012. We don't have quest token 3.
Stay your weapons.
Fritov cries.
I surrender.
You seem to have quite a guilty conscience for a healer, you say.
Fritov slumps.
Not without cause. I know why you've come. But let me hear you ask it.
You inquire about King Hanagild's mysterious illness. Fritov is nodding.
Aye, that was me. And for good reason. The best reason all this time. Revenge.
You told him you've heard about what Hanagrid did to his family and his tribe.
Then you know. You know what a monster that king truly is. My brew is special. Perfect. An ordinary poison would be immediately detected by a competent physician. A bit of magic renders it invisible to any normal means of divination. Even a wizard would have trouble figuring it out.
And how is it delivered, you ask?
Slowly. Small doses daily over a few months, taken with food. The subject himself wouldn't taste the thing, but he'd feel it. Oh yes, he'd feel it as he shrivels up and his muscles wither and his flesh rots right off his very bones.
Fritov's eyes burn with hatred.
And who is your accomplice in this slow murder?
I'll say nothing more. Take me to the authorities here. I shall plead my case, and if it's death for me, then so be it. For it's surely death for that tyrant. He deserves it, 10 times over. No, 1,000 times.
You bind Fritov. He mutters and curses Hanagild all the way to the local authorities in Calicut. You tell them of his deeds and leave the matter to them. You must depart as quickly as possible.
The party gains quest token 4 to represent the information. All right, we have gained quest token number 4. I'm going to place that down near Sheik. And it is no longer the explore phase. We can go up to the travel phase. And I guess we're going back to Dranbelt, to the healing houses where the king is. All right, we traveled to Dranbelt. It's the engagement phase. There's no enemies present, so we must pull an event card. Enemy troops. You have visions of vicious enemy troops marching in your direction. We would move all enemies that have that arrow one region towards the closest hero. There's no enemies on the board. We don't have to do that. Let's go down to the explore phase and interact. J is the healing houses. A large, low building located in a very quiet valley. It houses nobles, diplomats, and notables in case of particularly serious illness. Interact to read entry L1009. We're going to interact, and let's go check it out.
The valley is beautiful and peaceful. The houses of healing are in fact a large, long building with many warm apartments suited for the noble and wealthy to recover from serious illnesses or live out the rest of their days in quiet comfort. You arrive in front of the white facade of the building. It's an austere place with an air of quiet sadness about it. For many, it represents the antechamber to a tomb.
If points of interest A, G, or C are in play, they are not. We only have H. So we're going to read entry L1024.
You're expected by the guards, though their manner is almost suspicious. They let you pass, however. You're directed to the highest floor, up a long marble staircase which leads to an opulent room with large windows, all drawn closed against a bright day outside. The king lies in the bed. Princess Hildegard stands by his side, watching you as you approach. Several servants stand by, and several courtiers in attendance break off their quiet conversation as you enter.
Count the number of counter tokens on Hannah Guild's illness card. If there are 5 or more, there are exactly 5. So we are going to read L1014.
The king is dead.
Hildegard says, her voice deep and solemn.
From today, many things will change in the kingdom, and many wrongs shall be righted.
The party gains quest token 6 to represent the death of the king. Read entry L1047. We're going to gain quest token number 6. We're just going to put it right by number 4 near Sheik the Pig.
Had you completed your errand?
The princess asked in a stentorian voice which garnered the room's collective attention.
If the party has quest token 5, we do not. We have 4 and 6. So we're going to read entry L1056. If the party has quest token 1, 2, or 4, we do. We have quest token number 4 when we got the information off of Fritov. So we're going to read entry L1028. If the party has quest token 6, we do. We're going to read entry L1, end 1. It was poison, you say, administered daily, though by whom we cannot tell.
Princess Hildegard is silent for a long moment.
You are certain of this?
Yes, very.
Very well,
she says.
We shall conduct an investigation. Thank you for your efforts and for bringing this information to light.
Later, in private, provide the princess with all the information you discovered. She seems relieved.
It's good to know how this was done, but we may never discover by whom. My eldest brother will take the throne. Things will improve across the realm.
When you ask what she means by that, she's evasive.
Well, just that an ailing king can't see to his people's needs.
Interesting. Time passes and you receive an invitation to Hedingrove for the new king's coronation. Along the way, you note with satisfaction that the situation in the Hedingrove countryside seems to have definitely improved. When you arrive at the castle, you see that a gallows has been erected in front of the castle. But you decide not to ask who it is for.
That murdering... I hope you've enjoyed the conclusion to the Salvation of the Many from the Lost Stories expansion. We can only wonder who was being hung. I would imagine it was probably Fritov, and the princess's treachery will be forever silenced with his execution. Now, that's just my take, only because she was feeding him in one of the scenes. But the adventure has 5 different endings, so if we had done things differently, we would have came across a different story ending. So if you have this expansion or you plan on getting it, you can make different choices and you can end up with a different story path altogether. And that's what is awesome about this game. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump on into the second. We're going to go back to the main story, C2. I think it's called The Thief of Darkwoods. And we're going to play with the hunt contracts that came with this expansion. So hit that bell notification so you can be in the know when that video drops. Until next time.